Alright everybody, hi, it's David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian, and today I'm going to talk about Deuteronomy 22 verses 28 to 29, and I'm going to have a few other verses in here. This is about what I'm looking at as possibly letting a rapist off for cheap. Okay? Now, I'm going to just get into this. I'm going to read Deuteronomy 22, verses 28 to 29. This is King James Version. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. All right. Now, in here, I don't see any rights of the woman. Okay? It's just the man. The man has the rights. Okay? The man's the one that will have to pay the money. Okay, now let's go to Exodus 22:17. This is after the fact, if they get caught. If her father utterly refuses to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. All right. Now, back here, the dowry of virgins is 50 shekels of silver. So how much is 50 shekels of silver in United States currency, in the United States dollar? $15.43. All right. Now, let's go over here to, this is a Christian site, because I want to be, I don't want to be biased here. And they say Deuteronomy 22:28 to 29 is often pointed out by atheists, skeptics, and other Bible attackers as evidence that the Bible is backwards, cruel, and misogynist, and therefore not the Word of God. At first glance, the passage seems to command that a rape victim must marry her rapist. Is that the correct interpretation of the text? If so, how is that not horribly unfair to the woman? The issue is actually addressed in two passages, both of which are below. And I showed you them. You have Deuteronomy 22:28 to 29, where the man has to pay after he seduces a woman, forces a woman, and is caught. They have to pay the fee. He has to pay the 50 shekels of silver to the father, and she becomes his wife. Or Exodus 22:16 and 17, if he does the same thing, is caught, and the father refuses to give his daughter to him as a bride, he still has to pay the $15.43. All right. Now, they like saying that, boy, he's punished for this. Okay? Together, these passages clearly state that if a man has sex with a virgin who is not betrothed, regardless of whether or not it was rape or consensual, he is obliged to marry her. He should have sought her father's permission first, negotiated a bride price, and taken her as his wife. Because he did not, he is punished for this. Yeah, he must now pay up $15.43. He can't opt out anymore. He can't opt out anymore. Well, here's the thing. If this woman was raped, she couldn't opt out either. Now, if it was consensual where she said, okay, it could have been where he goes, come on, let's do this. And she's like, I don't want to get caught. I don't know about this. I don't want to get caught and everything. He's like, oh, we won't get caught. And she's like, okay, let's do this. She consented. Okay? If he comes over to her, and you know them guys, you know. I mean, narcissistic, psychopathic types who just, oh, come on, baby. Maybe grabs a hold of the arm and squeezes. She starts feeling like there may be some violence coming if she don't do it. So she consents under duress. If you consent to anything under duress, you're under tyranny. She's a rape victim. Okay? But that's doesn't matter, because if you see here, okay, the woman, doesn't have any rights. Okay? What we see here, I'm going to go over to this one here. Because everything here is based on only the right. It's only the rights of the man. You could say the man's reproductive rights here. In the case of an engaged woman who had been raped, now if an engaged woman had been raped or had committed adultery consensually, the perpetrator was always killed. Okay, because the man had already paid her husband had already paid the bride price to her father. Why? Because reproductive rights. These are reproductive rights of the man who possessed the woman by paying a price. In the case of an unattached virgin, the act of rape did not affront any man except her father. It didn't affront her. There's no affront here because you don't have any rights. So you go back here and they say, the Bible attackers and atheists and skeptics say the Bible is cruel, backward, and misogynistic. What else would you call that? What would you call that? If this here was rape, and guaranteed, how many times back then was it rape? And whether or not the man had to marry her, whether or not the father gave consent, yeah, you marry her, or not, boom, $15.43, please. Well, the woman's going, what the, really? Okay, yeah, I got that on. Here you go. Here's $15.43. Yeah, see you, babe. This is so friggin', this is ignorant. This, and the way Christians just want to, and believe me, I never knew about this until I started moving out of Christianity. And I guarantee you, if I would have known this back then, I would have argued that, no, he didn't rape her. She consented. I probably would have said that. No, it was consent. I guarantee you. No, it wasn't rape, because God would never do that. Just like when Jesus turned the water into wine, I would always argue, even though I like drinking, I would always argue, no, that wasn't alcoholic wine. It was near wine. It was non-alcoholic wine. When you can see right there where the man, the guy who put the banquet on, the wedding, the father of the bride, said, wow, this here's the best wine. Why are we serving this now? Because it was like toward the end of the night, meaning it was alcoholic. And I used that, no, it wasn't, because in Paul's epistles he says, be not drunk with wine with which is excess, but be filled with the Spirit, because the Spirit was giving Paul that word from Jesus. And I would go, no, you can't. He wouldn't say this and do that. Well, yeah, he would. This here is complete bullshit. Because the percentage, we know that there was rape. We know that some of these women were raped. And whether or not the man had to marry the doggone woman or not, all he had to pay was the $15.43. That is misogynistic. Okay? And but then of course another thing I was thinking of was, okay, this guy here, let's see. Let's think of something. I want to go. Now, of course, it has laws here where you're not allowed to eat pork. Don't eat pork. I want to look this other one up. Okay, let's go death for death for gathering sticks on the Sabbath. Okay? Don't go out. Let's see. All right, Numbers 15, verses 32 to 36. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. And they put him inward, because it was not declared what should be done to him. And the Lord said unto Moses, This man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp, and stoned him with stones, and he died, as the Lord commanded Moses. But during that time, there was a man who had raped a woman, and all he had to do was pay $15.43 to either marry or not marry the woman, because he disrespected the father. Wow, how about that? That's my Sabbath, and you need to rest. I told you to rest. Okay. This is I tell you what. And the thing with this, and it says, also note that the penalty for having sex with an unbetrothed virgin is completely different from the penalty for sex with a married or betrothed woman. Sex with a married or betrothed woman is adultery and was to be punished by the death of both, if consensual, or the death of the man if it was rape. I don't give a damn. Nowadays, rape don't matter if they're married or unmarried. Pretty much the same penalty. Okay? It's rape. But in the Bible, it doesn't matter. That woman, the woman doesn't really have any rights here. Okay? So I don't care how you spin this. I don't care how Christians try to spin this. This is completely wrong. All right? And this is just another reason why I am, as a Christian, am slowly moving away from this faith and this belief. Because there's it's more and more seems like nothing more than a book written by man using God to try to control people. Okay, it's a mechanism for control and manipulation. That's how I see religion as a whole. So I'm going to end this video now. I want, just let me know what you think. But, this here is just, this is wrong. And any way you slice it, you can't. You have to be paid. Be an apologist, an evangelist, a preacher. You're paid to try to gloss over it and make it look better than what it is. And if any of those people or ever watch this video, think about this. Think about what you're condoning here and what you're trying to gloss over. If it would happen to your daughter now, would you allow the guy? I mean, would you allow the guy? Now, you'll say, well, we're not under the law and all that. And all. Who cares? Would you allow the guy to pay you $15.43, whether you allow him to marry her or not? Oh, and another thing, before I leave, I was watching a Pine Creek video where he was talking to, I don't know what the guy's name was. I think it was Randall Rouser. And he said about the Old Testament, he said you need to look at the Old Testament through the lens of Jesus Christ. And I was thinking about that last night. Yeah. Okay. The man, rapes the woman. Then they're caught, and the man has to pay the bride price to the father. All right? And then he marries her. And I was thinking, that does sound familiar. Okay, Jesus was there at the beginning, and apparently he created everything. Okay, so he's God, the second member of the Godhood, and it said that they all were there at creation. Well, they all, as far as I see it, didn't they all create sin as well? So God foists sin upon mankind, which is essentially fucking them, raping them, and then Jesus comes and he pays the price, for our sin, the rape, and then Christians believe they're going to become the bride of Christ. So God rapes us. Jesus, who is God, pays the bride price to God and then marries us. Yeah. Now, there you go. That makes sense. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, because, hey, all you really need is faith. Just have faith in the fact of God, what God tells you. Just believe it, and, Now, I was thinking about that last night. I thought, wow, that's twisted if you look through the lens of Jesus, because it actually fits, doesn't it? So, I'm going to end it right there, and let me know what you think. If you like, dislike, whatever, subscribe. Just let me know what you think. And until next time, I am David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian.